Everything is good. The topic of today's webinar is working with estate planning attorneys. When you are talking about enrolling clients in the Legacy of Love program, having certain strategic partnerships can be very beneficial. One of those is estate planning attorneys. I don't know how much everyone on the call knows about estate planning attorneys. First off, they sometimes call themselves elder law attorneys. They're attorneys whose practice is mainly focused around working with more senior citizens, doing trust work, protecting assets from Medicaid, making sure in their final days that their estate. All right, we're getting a bunch of background noise from somebody. I may have to go through her one at a time and mute everybody out. See if we can't get that cleared up just a bit. It's a lot better now. Okay. They're sometimes called elder law attorneys. Again, they practice mainly with seniors preparing for their elder years, etc. I most commonly call them estate planning attorneys, but when I say that, it encompasses really both groups, elder law attorneys and estate planning attorneys. What estate planning attorneys typically do is a lot of trust work, protecting assets, making sure assets are going to where their clients go, etc. So they are working generally in the same demographics that we work with at Legacy of Love. Their average client is over the age of 50, has a few assets, has a little bit of money, and they are very similar to Legacy of Love consultants from a standpoint of once they do their estate planning, their trust work, etc., most people do not need a second estate plan. Just the same as once someone prearranges their funeral, most people don't need a second prearrangement. One funeral is about all most of our clients ever endure, so it's a one and done type deal. It's very similar with estate planning attorneys. They work with the client, etc., and when they get everything set up, there really isn't a lot of other work for them to do with their clients. Because of that, estate planning attorneys, just the same as Legacy of Love consultants, are constantly marketing to get new clients to work with. It makes for a very great partnership. Any estate planning attorney worth their salt recommends to their new clients, the first thing they need to do is get their funeral prearranged. You can pay for it in today's dollars with the inflation protection. It's money that really they don't have to plan for as far as putting it into a trust or planning for the money to be distributed in a certain way. They know a certain portion of their client's assets are going to have to pay for their funeral. So the estate planning attorneys almost always make a recommendation to prearrange your funeral. Estate planning attorneys up until now have never wanted to do that prearrangement. In the old way of prearranging funerals, it would mean the estate planning attorney had to get partner with an existing funeral home in their market. As we all know, that's very challenging to do. And the estate planning attorney never wanted to alienate any potential clients because they represent Smith Brothers Funeral Home and not Jones Brothers Funeral Home. So in the past, these estate planning attorneys would tell their clients, okie dokie, go down to the funeral home, prearrange your funeral. Well, with Legacy of Love, they do not need any type of relationship with the local funeral home. The estate planning attorney's clients can now use any funeral home, and it brings the funeral planning portion of someone's estate back into the help and control of the estate planning attorney. Makes for a marriage made in heaven with a Legacy of Love consultants. I strongly urge you to contact every estate planning attorney in your market area, set up a meeting with them, tell them about Legacy of Love. Chances are they haven't heard of it yet. They don't realize this platform is available. They don't realize how beneficial it can be to their clients. And the attorneys also don't realize how partnering with Legacy of Love can bring them new estate planning clients. What I have typically done is I started a call campaign in my area to where I would call the attorneys to set up a meeting. You must remember this call benefits the attorneys, not just you, the Legacy of Love consultant. The telephone call, the scripting of it is on your screen. It's pretty simple and direct to the point. I'm a professional funeral planning consultant specializing in the senior market in their funeral planning needs. I represent a significant number of clients whom I feel might benefit from your services. If we got background noise going on, I would appreciate it if you would mute your telephone, please. I like to leave them unmuted, so in case you have questions, you can ask, but we do need to keep the background noise to a minimum. Anyhow, back to the script. I represent a significant number of clients whom I feel might benefit from your services, from the services of the estate planning attorney. There's a large number of your Legacy of Love enrollment people that could really benefit and don't have an estate planning attorney at present. I then continue the call with, I would like to set up a time where we can meet and I can tell you briefly how I help clients and to learn more about your estate planning practice. That way I can inform my clients about what you do and how you might be able to help them. When you present it in a way where an estate planning attorney might benefit by getting more clients, you will almost always get a brief meeting scheduled with that estate planning attorney. Now, when you are in this meeting, I highly recommend that you lay out the differences between the way funeral planning has already been done through a funeral director and the new and better way to prearrange your funeral through Legacy of Love. These attorneys have a pretty basic understanding of how it's always been done, but they may not have a complete understanding. And once you explain to them the old way and the new way, most attorneys get very excited about getting associated in one way or another with Legacy of Love and our funeral pre-planning arrangements. Always start there when you meet with a client. With an attorney. You want to find out what exactly your attorney looks for in a client, what their primary focus is, be it estate planning, wealth transfer, planning for Medicaid. There's a number of estate planning attorneys, that's all they do is Medicaid planning, in case the clients need to use the services of Medicaid for some sort of long-term care in an ongoing relationship. And then typically I ask the estate planning attorney, so how can we help each other out? We're both looking for new clients. And at that point in time, the estate planning attorney, the meetings I've been in, have been very excited to get associated with Legacy of Love in one form or another. The type of arrangements you can work out with estate planning attorneys vary substantially. It depends a lot on the attorney themselves. Some of the consultants with Legacy of Love work off of a referral basis with the attorney, to where the consultant gives a referral fee for everyone that the attorney sends them. I have a gentleman in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, who's at present getting 4 to 5 referrals a week from one estate planning attorney. When the estate planning attorney meets with their new client and does their fact finding, etc., almost always the estate planning attorney says, first thing you need to do is prearrange your funeral. They give them the agent's card, the consultant's card, and say, get a hold of them, get things prearranged with them. If you'd like, I can see if I can get him on the phone and schedule a meeting now. How many of you would like referrals like that, to where the estate planning attorney, the client is paying for their advice, says, do this first? That particular consultant pays a referral fee based on the amount of the enrollment. It's a smaller referral fee for a $5,000 prearrangement and under, and a larger referral fee for any arrangement over $5,000. This consultant is at present averaging enrollments between 20 and 25,000 in face amount every week from referrals from an estate planning attorney. It is a huge opportunity. I have other agents that have partnered with estate planning attorneys where the attorney actually got their insurance license, and the Legacy of Love consultant simply made them a sub-agent in their practice. And he is building his practice with attorneys who are sub-agents in his practice. That works out very well. I will warn you, in some states, attorneys are not allowed to be licensed insurance agents. So it may not work out in your particular state, but that's another way of doing a relationship, set up a relationship with an estate planning attorney. I have another Legacy of Love consultant who met with an estate planning attorney, outlined what Legacy of Love did. The estate planning attorney says, oh man, this is fantastic. I don't want to get licensed. I don't have time to prearrange their funerals, but I'd love to partner with you. I do dinner seminars once or twice a week, year-round. I want you to come to my dinner seminar. I will give you 15 to 20 minutes to talk about Legacy of Love. And guess what, Mr. Consultant? You get to keep all of the clients. I firmly believe I will be adding more value to my estate planning clients by offering funeral prearrangements. That's how I win in this relationship. So this consultant goes around to dinner seminars and presents Legacy of Love. The attorney at the dinner seminar says, hey, look, everybody ought to prearrange their funeral, and works those contacts she gets at those dinner seminars. The estate planning attorney pays for all of the invitations to the seminar. The estate planning attorney pays for the entire cost of the seminar. Don't get me wrong, if I could partner with an estate planning attorney who did seminars on a regular basis, I wouldn't mind co-opting part of the cost of that seminar. If you can get 10 to 12 to 15 people who are interested in pre-arranging their funeral because the attorney putting on the seminar said, hey, look, I don't get nothing from this, but this is something everyone should do. That is a tremendous marketing opportunity. Now, how do we find estate planning attorneys? On your screen now are two websites that I have used on a continual basis, justia.com and lawyers.com. You can look up by state, estate planning or elder law attorneys, and it will just give you a list of attorneys where that is their primary focus of their practice. The print screens I have on your screen now show like Justia's main page. I put in there, I was looking for estate planning attorneys, estate planning lawyers, and then all you have to do is pick your lawyers by state. I can tell you, did this seminar live in Louisiana. There is over 1,000 estate planning attorneys in the state of Louisiana alone. Remember that consultant in Myrtle Beach. He's getting 4 to 5 referrals a week from one estate planning attorney. This opportunity is huge. The next screen that's showing up on your screen is actually the lawyers.com website and what it looks like. Legal issue, I put in estate planning attorney. And it displays very similar to the previous website on a state-by-state basis. I highly encourage everyone that's on this call to start developing some relationships with estate planning attorneys. You can unmute yourself. I will now field some questions about how to partner with estate planning attorneys, what to say, anything I've confused you about when it comes to partnering with estate planning attorneys. Does anyone have any questions?
Hey, Rick, this is Dot. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my question is this. On the script that you have in place, when you say that I represent a significant number of clients, being that I'm very new and don't have a significant number of clients, is there something else I can say or do or refer them back to Legacy of Love?
I represent clients in the senior market.
Okay. Gotcha.
And significant is kind of a relative term.
Exactly. I was just thinking if they were asking for referrals or something like that, and I wouldn't have.
You can refer your clients as they come on board to them. Don't get me wrong. But significant is kind of a relative term. It's what I use. I've got Medicare clients. I've got final expense clients in my book of business that all fall into the age category that the estate planning attorney works in. But if you just got your license and the ink isn't dry, you can use a funeral planning consultant specializing in the senior market and funeral planning needs.
Okay.
My clients are definitely in the age bracket that you work with in estate planning services.
Okay. Good deal. I'm clear. Thank you.
when you say significant, it is a very relative term. If you're dipping for minnows in a pond, getting 100 of them is pretty good. That's a significant number. If you're hunting for whales, getting one is pretty good. That's a significant number. So don't get hung up on the significant. Any other questions from anyone on the call about this topic or any other topic?
Rick, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I do. This is Chris Real in Oklahoma. I do Medicare, specialize in doing new to Medicare seminars. Ideas on how that would be appealing to them.
Oh, that is a perfect way to market Legacy of Love. Now, I'm thinking when you said you did Medicare seminars, you are focusing mainly on traditional Medicare products, MedSup, Medicare Advantage,
right? But what I'm talking
like
about,
the dual eligible market.
Right? I don't eligible stuff. What I'm talking about is people new to Medicare. I specialize in people new to Medicare, whether they're 65 or they're retiring. So it would seem to me that that would be pretty ideal for a state planning attorney to work with.
I mean, if you're talking to them about Medicare supplements, they're going to pay $100 to $150 for a Medicare supplement. They're middle class America. These are the people who prearrange their funerals. At some point in your session, you might even build it into your presentation. Another thing that I help seniors with beyond their senior health concerns and questions is planning for their final arrangements. Well, I realize a lot of people. Go ahead.
What I was thinking was, I understand what you're talking about there, but what I'm talking about is, what about approaching a state attorney and maybe looking at something like doing seminars where the attorney and myself are both there together, Medicare and them, and an attorney there related to planning for your
that is
retirement.
Even better. And if you talk to an attorney and say, hey, look, I do a number of these, new to Medicare type seminars and turning 65, I think it would benefit both of us if we partnered on these seminars. Would you like to have the ability to talk a bit about what you do and how you can help this room full of people I have put together?
Right. Plus, it would help me if we shared the cost.
That attorney, you can get him to share the cost, and it also builds credibility to your seminar. Your seminar is no longer just about why they should buy a MedSup or a Medicare Advantage plan. Your seminar is now talking about okie dokie, different aspects of Medicare. They're getting the word from an attorney. You with me?
Yeah.
It increases the value to your prospects in your seminar. Perfect way to market Legacy of Love is partnering with an attorney for such seminars. Get you 3 or 4 attorneys and do 5 seminars a week, and your wife won't be able to spend the money you make.
Well, that's what I'm planning on doing. I mean, right now it's a busy Medicare time, but I plan on talking to some attorneys and maybe get this started in January, first quarter.
Yep. Any other questions about this topic or any other topic? This presentation will be sent out to everyone who attended the webinar. Yes, it will. That way you don't have to worry about writing down those websites real fast and all of that kind of good stuff. Any other questions from anyone about any topic? I can't urge you enough to develop some relationships with the state planning attorneys. they will keep the flow of new prospects coming to you on a very consistent basis. It is a win-win partnership. The estate planning attorney wins, the consultants for Legacy of Love wins, and your clients win. If no one has any additional questions, I will end this seminar and hope everyone has a productive day. I'm in the office all day today. If you have something you need to talk with me offline, don't hesitate to give me a call. With that, everyone have a fantastic day.